What's up, guys? It's Jed
And Joe,
from GVS, Greens Valley Syndicate, and this is our first review. What are we going to review, Joe?
I've got the PSA Dagger Micro today.
And we got a HoloSun 407 on it. So there's probably plenty of reviews out there for this now, but we want to give you our thoughts on it and how it shoots. And we're going to compare it a little bit to my Glock 43, just bare bones Glock 43.
Yeah, so I like it for starters. It for the cost was great. It's a Glock, very similar. It's double stack, so it's got a little more weight to it. Has a little more punch. There's a little more recoil than shooting a 43. Got to put more rounds to it, I think, to get a better idea of where it lands for me in the lay of the land and the collection. But yeah, definitely happy with it.
Now when you're ready.
Yep. Shooting the 43. Gonna see what we think compared to the PSA.
So initially, my thoughts on it, it's fine. When we did 2 rounds of filming, we were in North Carolina out by Joe's house filming, and I hated the trigger. Like, that was my biggest gripe. I hated the trigger. It's mushy. I didn't like it compared to my Glock 43. Not like a Glock trigger is anything to ride home about, but the pull seemed a lot longer for me. Now this week, Joe's up here with me in Pennsylvania, and we got a lot more rounds through it, and I don't mind the trigger as much. I think it's going to keep getting better as we get more rounds through it. But the feel of it feels like a Glock 43X. The grip texture, the little mini stippling PSA does on it, is pretty good. No problem with your hand slipping.
See how the
All right, so Jarrett just painted it up. We're going to see what my 43 can do compared to the PSA. I haven't shot this gun probably in like a year, so bear with me, everyone. The YouTube universe. Tree there. First mag in a while through the 43. All A zones except for one that would go like right in your neck. Okay, so how it shoots. It's definitely more snappy than my Glock 43. Like I said, I just have a normal 43, no optic on it. I do have Noveski marked base plates. That adds an extra round, so you can put 7 in the magazine, 1 in the pipe. I have, I would say, smaller to medium man size hands, so a lot of people complain about the grip of a 43, just a standard 43. It doesn't bug me. I've shot this thing a ton. I'm very comfortable with it. It is currently my EDC, except in winter months. Winter months, I usually carry my Glock 17. I think my Glock 43 trigger, like I said earlier, is slightly better. I think the recoil is slightly better on the Glock 43. But what do you think, Joe?
Yeah, like I said, the recoil is definitely more noticeable on the PSA than the Glock. The Glock's smaller, noticeably smaller, and the trigger is definitely lighter pull. But they both shoot comfortably. I think it just kind of depends on how much you want to carry and what you plan on doing with it.
Yeah, so final thoughts, I think, I mean, it's a blast. It's worth buying. I want to shoot more from PSA. Definitely want to shoot more from PSA. We're going to be putting a lot of rounds through that Dagger micro. I want to shoot the full size. We got to get a full size Dagger. And it's not the micro compact. Is that the other one?
It's like
I remember.
I don't know. PSA has like a Glock 19 clone. They have a Glock 17 clone.
I just want to shoot a bunch of their shit because it's fun.
And it's a good price.
Cost efficient. Yeah,
No
definitely.
one has paid us to do this review. We're not that cool yet. We're just starting off. So I guess my final thoughts. I like the micro Dagger from PSA. I don't think if you're just getting into the industry, I don't think it should be your first firearm or your first pistol. I think you should save up the money and maybe invest in like a Glock 17 or a Glock 19. But if you already have that or a comparable, pistol to that standard, I think getting the Dagger to get into the subcompact game is a pretty safe bet. Or you'll just be like me and you buy a subcompact Glock because I'm a Glock guy. I have 5 Glocks now, which brings us to our next talking point. Our next review is going to be on another Glock clone. So we went to my local gun store. I traded in a 7.5-inch AR pistol, Springfield Saint. They don't make this one anymore, so they kind of hooked me up.
Why don't they make it anymore?
I think it's because it sucks ass. Like, it shoots fireballs. It's a 7.5-inch AR. I bought it like right before COVID because I was bored. I probably have maybe shot 300 rounds through it. So I decided to get rid of it today. We went to my local store and they gave me a good amount of store credit. So our next review, like I was saying, will be on the Ruger Magpul RXM. Got this and the Hollow Sun for like nothing on my trade-in. And I actually don't have a Glock 19. I have a Glock 17, a Glock 21, a Glock 19X, and a 43. So this was me fulfilling my need for a Glock 19. So our next review is going to be the RXM.